Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am extremely excited to share with you a conversation that I had with an awesome guy. And you know what? Just so I can tell you as soon as possible, come on, co-star, come do your thing.
Welcome back to my dad's channel. If you're new here, make sure to click that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to share.
Well, thank you very much, young lady. Much appreciated as always. So now, getting right to the meat and potatoes, what you are going to see is a conversation between me and an awesome individual. He is the CEO and co-founder of PointHound.com, a brand new points booking website that I discovered. Now, before we get into anything else, understand this is not sponsored by PointHound. I am getting nothing for PointHound. I have no referral code for PointHound. This is literally a website that I found in my travels that I sincerely believe in, that I definitely want to share out to the audience because look, you know me, if you've been watching my channel, I'm a purist. I normally don't even use point sites, but this site it's otherworldly, to put it lightly. So in this, you will see a conversation between me and Jay Reno. He is the CEO and co-founder of PointsHound. This site went live 8 months ago. I've set up my own profile. I've used it to test and look at redemptions that I've been interested in. And this site's been around for 8 months and I just now discovered it. So even I'm 8 months late, but I am making it my business to make sure you are not late. So Jay took some time out of his very busy schedule just to sit down with me for a short conversation. And I got to tell you, some of the things we're going to cover here, from redemptions, aspirational redemptions. He even gives out some credit card hints, tips, and tricks, and even talks about his setup. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. I want to give a huge shout out to Jay and the PointHound team. They are just doing incredible things here. Now, as a PSA, I gotta let you know, you're gonna see me nerd out and kind of fanboy out a little bit because really super cool guy, but he knows his stuff. And you know what? I'll just stop babbling. Why don't you guys just check out the conversation? First things first, I just want to offer you my gratitude, my thank yous. I'm a part of a amazing Points and Miles community, and when I discovered your site, Point Hound, it was just, I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is something that more people need to know about because it is intuitive, it's easy. Once you create your profile and you start searching, it does pretty much all the work for you. So I've actually started preemptively mentioning it on my YouTube page during live videos. And I do believe I have another mention of it coming with an update coming video that I'm editing. So I was just really looking forward to the fact that you were able to take time out of your busy schedule to meet with me.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for the kind words. And happy to be here today to chat with you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm really what's the word? I'm kind of informal. I don't do like a lot of pre-prepared stuff. I like really a lot of organic conversation. And with that, if you don't mind, I would just like to ask you, what inspired you to get Point Hound off the ground?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think for me, so in my prior work life, I started a company called Feather, which is a furniture rental business. We built it 7, 8 years ago. We ended up raising a lot of venture capital, like $75 million of venture capital for the company. We grew it to many tens of millions of revenue and sold the company in 2022. But along the way, we racked up a lot of credit card points that I had no idea what to do with. So back then, I was just a complete points beginner. And sure, we were putting almost $1 million of spend per month on cards, primarily purchasing furniture and a few other things. But I was putting almost all of it on the Amex Platinum card, thinking that that was going to earn me tons of points. Well, yes, it would have earned me about 1 million points a month at 1x point per dollar spent, or 1 point per dollar spent. But had I put it on, say, the Capital One Venture card, I would have gotten 2 million points. And obviously the difference between 1 million and 2 million points is quite a lot. I did also a
Absolutely.
ton of other dumb stuff like that. And so I got really excited about credit card points and miles once I realized what the world looked like outside of the little bubble I was in. So I got quite interested personally. And then after selling the business, I got very interested professionally too, and decided to try and build a product that solved my problem, which was I have these points, but I really don't know how to use them well. So I built this first version of the product. I can tell you more about it, but we'll pause for them for now.
Awesome. 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 Awesome, man. That is, the funny thing is that your story actually echoes a lot of people. A lot of people, they have credit cards. Like at one point in my early career, I actually got a credit card suggested to me while I was at a bank. I was banking at Chase, and she was like, "Hey, why don't you apply for this credit card?" I had no idea what to do with it. If I knew then what I knew now, I know that I had the Chase Freedom Unlimited. I was getting 1.5 on everything. I didn't know then. I used it for statement credits, didn't know about transfer partners. So like I really like how, it all started for you. So that is awesome. So okay, so now you've been putting a ton of business spend in. You realize that there was a whole big points world out there. Now, I know there's supposed to be like a buildup, but like I said, I like to be organic. I like to jump right into it. And
Let's do
so,
it.
with that, what are some of the best redemptions that you've done? And then after that, I'm going to ask what cards you have. But like,
Yeah.
since you've pioneered this site, what are some of the aspirational or even just local trips that you've done that the points have helped you out with, that helped you mold the site?
Yeah. Yeah. And to contextualize all of this, the like millions of points I was earning at the last company, you don't have to be earning millions of points to do any of what I'm, going to talk about, which probably most of your listeners know. I mean, at this point, I'm probably earning way fewer, like, I don't know,
Mhm.
10,000, 20,000 points a month if I'm lucky, right? So that's where I am today, and that's where most people end up, is, earning points in that size and scale. So I guess I built this product around really like the points beginner trying to figure this out themselves for the first time. So yeah, to answer your question, man, like I think some of the best redemptions I've gotten have been on business class flights that I wouldn't have purchased otherwise, business and first class. I think the most memorable one for me was a um, a Lufthansa first class flight. I was in Europe, um, and I had a flight booked back, I think in economy from wherever I was. I was actually in Munich, and I ended up just looking on our site and finding that there was a first class flight available in 2 days when I was going to be flying, just randomly looking, and was like, holy, this is like this is incredible. And it was like 100,000 points where my economy flight was like 40. And I decided to pull the trigger. I looked at the um yeah, the price of the flight, and it was like 15 or $16,000 for the one way
Mm.
from I think it was Frankfurt to San Francisco. Um, but that flight was so cool. Like I ended up going to the Frankfurt first class terminal and lounge. You have your own terminal, so you actually like you go in through this separate door. It's kind of hard to find. A few of the taxis, I guess, like kind of knew when I got my Uber. They're like, "Oh, that's where you're going." I was like, "Cool, thanks." And then yeah, went through. You have your own security. There's no line. There's just like five people there to walk you through security. You get this really nice first class lounge experience with like some buffet food, ton of food that you could just order off menus wherever you want. A cigar
Mhm.
lounge, like probably like 150 different kinds of liquors on the wall that are all free. Yeah, it was really cool. And then the flight itself was incredible too. Like they gave you You get your own little cabin. Up in the front of that cabin too, there's a you're actually in the nose of an old 747 plane. They're like one of the
That's
only.
what I was gonna ask you. If you
Yeah,
flew the
yeah,
Grail.
yeah, yeah.
That's
It was really cool. Yeah. So yeah, not to belabor that point, but yeah, it was a very fun experience. It was like 10 hour flight. I got to just like really enjoy myself, and obviously it was very spoiling. Because I was like, how could I ever fly economy again on a long haul flight like this? Like this was insane. The server was incredible. I mean, it was a really fun experience. So yeah, I think that was probably one of the best redemptions ever. And that was like somewhere between 15 and 18 cents per point
that is
on that
wild.
redemption. So that was great.
That is wild. You flew one of my bucket list trips because I've actually this year I flew Lufthansa business class out of Frankfurt.
Nice.
The wife and I were coming home from Rome, and it was the business class just knocked my socks off. The fact that you got the first class,
Yeah.
yeah, you're official. I'm telling you right now, the people watching there, yeah,
And
you're all thumbs up right
and
now for
these
that.
flights are available more than you think. Like I just transferred to Aeroplan and it was 100,000 points. And I think like if you paid it was like $200 in cash, you could bump it down to or $150 in cash. I think you could bump it down to like 70,000 points or 80,000 points in case you were like, well, I don't have exactly 100,000 that I can transfer. Maybe I have 80. You could pay 80 plus their nominal fee um, to get it. So I was like, actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. And it was really fun. It was really fun.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
kudos to you. Kudos to you. So that will lead me into my next question. Now that you've had that, and I noticed that when you were telling me that you happen to check your own website. So with that, you've told me like ultimately, we've kind of because the website I've discovered it is new to me. But give me a picture of 5 or 10 years down the road what the long-term, mid-range and long-term goals are for Point Hound.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. And I can even literally well, I could share my screen and show you a little bit more about it down the line if it feels right. I think we need to enable screen sharing. But yeah, I mean our plan right now, or what we have right now in place is we've built one of the more powerful kind of point search tools that allow you to earn and redeem your points for free flights. So our goal is to help people not just, you know, not just earn the points, where we'll help you get the right credit cards and get set up appropriately. We also help you once you have points you've earned, redeem those points for free flights to amazing destinations all over the world. So that's kind of our near-term goal is continue to build out our product suite and build something that people really love. And it's starting to happen. We just tripled our user base over the last month. And the month before we had doubled it. So it's it's slowly catching on completely word of mouth, which is great. And yeah, I mean, really what we're hoping to do is just make understanding points more easy and more accessible to more people. So 100 million people have who travel internationally every year in the US. It's not always completely affordable to do it. And so what we're trying to do is make travel more accessible by helping people book more flights with points at greater values to them. So that's kind of our long-term plan right now.
Absolutely. Okay, man, you're giving me a lot to digest here because
Yeah,
I gotta tell you I nerd out on these things,
yeah,
and man, I can tell you that me personally using the site, I have noticed that you guys keep a great you guys have a great reference of first of all what I like to call primary and secondary points. So primarily, if you're going to book something with Delta, you're going to book it with Delta Sky Miles. That's your primary mode of purchase. But
yep,
points that go into it might be your transferables unless you have a Delta Amex card. So, but I've noticed that you guys are taking it even a step further because some of your flights, you will actually show via Marriott points. And little known fact is that Marriott is a travel partner to quite a few airlines.
Mhm.
And what inspired you to get that granular? Because a lot of people don't know that you can do that, or they kind of shy away from it because of the transfer rates.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes people sit on a ton of hotel points that they otherwise won't use, because who stays in a hotel more than they stay home?
Yeah. Yeah. I think like if you're able to enable screen sharing, I might even be able to show an example to the folks watching if it's valuable.
Oh, absolutely. Let me get
Otherwise, yeah,
here.
let's
It
just
should be able to. There, it should be enabled. My
sweet.
apologies.
No, no, no worries. So yeah, I mean, you have a great point in that like some people are gonna wanna, I mean, there are a lot of different ways that you can book the same flight effectively, right? In points. You could book your flight in points through the Chase travel portal or the Amex travel portal. And it will cost a certain amount of money. Let's use $1,000 flight. $1,000 flight
Okay.
through the Chase portal or the Amex portal will be a 1 cent redemption. So it would cost you 100,000 points for a $1,000 flight. Through
Mhm.
Chase, if you have, the Chase Sapphire preferred, you'll get a 1.25 cent redemption. So maybe um that $1,000 flight is going to cost you like eight 80,000 points, as an
Mhm.
example. What we do is we search all the different permutations. So you could book that Delta flight through Delta. You could book that Delta flight through Air France. You could book that Delta flight through Virgin Atlantic Flying Club, and a whole host of other providers. But the price will be dramatically different across each of them. So if you were to search, we could, we can run a search from, I don't know, JFK to, what do you think? Um,
Um,
what should we do?
let's
Munich or Frankfurt?
yeah, let's do Frankfurt
Just for
since
fun.
we were just talking.
Yeah, we'll just run a quick search. And this allows you to search kind of, you can pick a day, you can pick a set of days to run a search, but I'm just gonna pick a random day in April. But you might know where you want to fly better to kind of help illustrate this point. And what we do is we go out and we live search as many airlines as we possibly can, with more coming even, about 140 different airlines you can see returned here. And we're going to show the user how many different ways there are to book that flight and how much it might cost. So we could use this example, I guess. I don't know, here's a Swiss Air flight where you fly through Geneva. It's 70,000 points in business class, where the retail price is $3,163. We pull in the retail price. It says it's 4.52 cents per point for that flight. Here's one that's 6.78 cents per point. And then when you scroll down here, it'll show you all of the ways you could book that Swiss Air flight. Now, are you booking the Swiss Air flight by going to Swiss Air to book that flight? Let's see. Let's look at all the booking options. No, you're actually not. You're not going to Swiss Air and transferring your points to Swiss Air. You could be transferring your points to Air Canada Aeroplan to buy it for 70,000 points. Or you could transfer to United to buy it for 88,000 points, your Chase points. Or you could, like you were saying before, you could transfer your Marriott Bonvoy points to either Air Canada or United to book that flight. But of course, you're going to have to transfer almost 3 times, if not more, points from Marriott to book here. Now,
Mhm.
I don't typically recommend transferring your points from Bonvoy to then book on an airline because you'll get more value out of them generally inside of Marriott, but you can if you want to. And so we wanted to include that as a way to book that flight so that we're not making decisions for people. But instead giving them the ability to see all of the ways they could book and then allowing them to book it that way and then walking them through step by step. Okay, Amex to Air Canada, and then we walk you through these kind of step by step guides to teach you exactly what you have to do.
That is amazing. This is amazing. I gotta tell you, because
Yeah.
this will answer so many questions that so many people who get this into this game, we call it. A lot of people tend to say that they're team travel or team cashback or what have you. There's always a
Yep.
delineation of what people are going to use their points for. And a lot of the times, what keeps people out of travel is the complication, finding a ward space, knowing the right program to use, getting the most value out of their points. And literally, since I accessed the website, the last time I did my searches, I didn't even see the cent per point labels that you had in the original search.
Yeah.
So these improvements are this is crazy. This
Thanks,
is
man.
absolutely
And
crazy. I am
we're
impressed.
literally, yeah, we're right at the beginning too. I mean, this is just getting started. We're a we're a team of 5 people right now. We've all worked together on the last company that we built, which was Feather. And yeah, we're back all working together again, and building this company. It's really fun. There's so much that we could do and could build, you know. That was the like A to B search feature. This search
Mhm,
feature, which maybe you've played around with a little bit, is absolutely fantastic and fun to use, where you can put in your home airport, let's just say
mhm,
JFK, but you can put in whatever airport you want and whatever date range you want. So you could pick
mhm,
like, a weekend in September, or you could say, show me the next 2 weeks or month, or show me the entire month of July next year. And we'll look
mhm.
at business class just for fun. And what this search does is it's searching JFK to everywhere we track, which is many different places. So this is actually searching JFK to like tons of places in North America, Europe, Asia, South America, Africa, Australia. And you can then go in there and see the cheapest places you could possibly go from your home airport. So in this case, the cheapest place we found outside of the US was Bermuda in business class for 15,000 points. You could also tell me, hey, you know what? I want to go travel to Europe. So
Mhm.
let's just see only flights to Europe and what those might cost. Well, here's a bunch for 45,000 points to Europe. Um, a lot of these have those high taxes and fees
Yeah.
because they're flying through the UK. So what we could do is just like turn the UK off and say, all right, UK, you're too expensive for me. Let me find somewhere else I can go. And these are all the places you can fly for 45, 55,000 points in business class.
That is amazing. I hope everyone's listening here. 45, 55,000 points. That is less than a sign-up bonus. That is half of a sign-up bonus in most cases.
Yep.
Literally, you get your sign-up bonus, you can fly to Europe, you can fly there and back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Good.
crazy.
Even a vacation.
Crazy. It is. Um, yeah, I think it's like a fun tool to search to kind of explore and see where you could go. Or even
Mhm.
if you're in the mode to actually book something, you can go in and say, hey, you know what? I know I want to fly to Italy. Show me the flights to Italy only. And I know I'm flying to Rome, so like, you know, show me the best ways to get there. You know, here's one nonstop.
Um,
Oh, looks like someone may have already booked this one. Um, but yeah, that's uh that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, that I mean that's it. It literally happens that fast because there are points brokers out there. There are things out there that happen, and like what have we found here? It looks like what is that? Royal Air Morocco?
Yep. It shows the number of seats too. So this was I think I ran a search for one seat. So looks like there's only one seat left. If you're traveling with someone else, no problem. You can throw in, you know, 2 seats here and rerun the search. It
Mhm.
runs very quickly. Look at that. It's done. Um, and you could check it for just, 2 people. You could say only Asia. Maybe you want to go to Tokyo for 60,000 in business class. Here's one. You know,
What?
60,000 direct business class. You could also say, you know what? I don't know, like that one was an American flight that required American points, but you could say, filter my results to match my card programs, turn that on. So then it's only showing results for card programs that I have. So I've got Amex, I have Capital One, I have Chase. You could remove what, you know, when you sign up, it'll basically ask you which of these you have. So
Absolutely.
you could then see all the places you could go. You go to Turkey for 70,000 in Europe, or you could say in Asia. So a lot of different options. You could go to Tokyo. Here's one direct business class. It's on American. It's probably that same, could be that same flight, but it's one where you can book through Qantas.
Absolutely.
And by
One World
booking,
Partners.
exactly. We also take into account this thing called transfer bonuses. I don't know if have you guys talked much about those?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We amongst the community, we share who has the newest transfer bonus and where. Like
Oh,
right
no.
now, if you have an Amex card, Amex cards are giving a Amex offer for
Mhm.
money back if you spend up to, I think it's like $250 if you spend $1,000 at Qantas right now.
Oh, no.
I don't think that expires until August the 31st, if I recall correctly. But I know that's been shared with me. There are discords and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
you are right now, you are the guy. This is just it's just crossing all the T's and just dotting all the I's.
Hey, You're you are making me blush
It's
on
amazing.
camera. Uh, but yeah, I mean, there's still, again, like there's still bugs, there's still things we're working on, there's still fixes. Like there's a lot that we can continue to improve on. But yeah, we're pretty happy with what there is right now. So we welcome any feedback, anything that people want to give. You can just, you know, write into us. We're always taking feedback from folks. So we're here for it.
Absolutely. And just for the listening audience, understand that this conversation is the result of just a simple email. I simply sent an email because I heard about this particular site, PointHound.com, when I was watching another YouTuber's video who happened to mention it. And even he said, hey, look, I'm not sponsored. It's just a great service. So that word of mouth really matters, especially with a quality service like PointHound. If you know me and you've been watching my channel, I do not lend my support lightly without fleshing out the people whom I support. And Jay and your team, I got to tell you, you guys have got something here. You really do, especially to a points fanatic like myself. And I know other people in the community are just going to go nuts about this. And I just want to thank you so much for taking us through the just some examples, because it seems very easy, very into, like, if you never traded a point before, it just seems like it's made for people like that.
That's our goal. Our goal is to just we've designed this for beginners. So whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or expert, it's still valuable for you. It's just we really want to make this as easy as possible for most people. I think the other element that we probably should have touched on is this is completely free. We don't charge anything for any of these searches. There's no gating. You can run searches as often as you'd like, and you can show up and use the product as often as you'd like.
Yeah, I was saving that part for last. I was gonna put it as the cherry on top,
Yeah,
because that part they were, because of course they were gonna be like, all right, so
yeah,
how much?
yeah,
This is amazing.
yeah.
You have a powerful site here.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, we're rolling out a few little like paid features that'll help
Mhm.
automate some things for you, but we're never gonna gate or charge you to run any of these searches. That's just we don't think it makes sense to do that, given that most people are used to running a search on Google Flights for free or Kayak for free or Expedia. So our goal is to make this to help give people free flights for free. So
I love it.
yeah,
And I know my audience is gonna love it. Now, I know and I can't thank you enough for your time. And I know that you're a busy guy, but before we round this out, I have to ask questions for my viewers. We
Please.
spoke about how many points you were getting. So with that, I would like to ask, what credit cards do you have and which ones are your favorites?
Yeah, sure. You can, so we actually have credit card consultations with people. We've done about 300 of them so far, and they're free. So if you want to sign up, it's on our site. We do them, I do most of them 30 minutes long. So if you want to have a chat about which cards you have and where you may want to go to optimize those, they're available on our site. They do book up pretty quickly, and usually like 10 days in advance they book. So kind of like these flights, I guess they're like, because they're free, they go relatively quickly, but grab one and we can talk about your own personal situation. But what I have, we basically talk about, like, there's three buckets of cards that are valuable for most people. So having a travel card, a hello, thumbs up, a travel card, a food card, and an everything else card covers all of the bases, the major bases, and gets you like 95% of the way there to like optimizing the points you can be earning on just everyday spend. So travel card, that could be a Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve, where you get 2 to 3x points on travel, on anything coded as travel. Food, I generally recommend the Amex Gold, because you get 4x points on anything food. That's 4x on groceries and 4x on restaurants. And then the third card is like an everything else card. It could be usually something that just has like a straight multiplier across all categories. And the one that we like right now is the Capital One Venture or Venture X cards. They give you 2x points on everything. So just those three cards, you could be earning, minimum 2x on anything, and then 3x on travel and 4x on dining, just with those three cards, which earns you lots of points pretty quickly, plus the sign-up bonuses.
And do you have a favorite?
It's funny, you can't pick favorite. I have a favorite per category, but not like a one that I pull out of my wallet every time. So my favorite travel card is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. My favorite food card is the Amex Gold. And my favorite, everything else card is the Capital One Venture X. I just use those three cards 90% of the time, and it's I earn lots of points. So
smart man, smart money, smart site. I think that pretty much wraps it all up there. Well, Jay, I just want to say thank you so much again. I really just fanboyed out with your site, the work that has gone into it. I think once again, you guys have a platform here that is really going to do just amazing things. I definitely want to highly suggest anyone watching this, please go and visit this site. Just like I did, you put your name, you put basically your travel credentials, how many cards do you have, you pick your cards, you even can rate your own skill level, and the site does the rest. Just do the search, and as you heard Jay say, it's free. You have nothing to lose here. Invest your time. I think it's going to be well worth it, especially if you want to maximize your value of your points with travel partners. So, Jay, I can't say thank you enough, and I was wondering if you had any parting words for the audience.
no, I mean, I think this should be a fun experience for most people. Being able to travel and see the world is a luxury, and to be able to do that for free is even better. So yeah, just make sure you pay off your card each month in full, so that you win in the points game. And have fun flying places.
Awesome. 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 Thank you so much. This has been great. This has literally been great. And I just want to thank you so much. I know you're busy and I know your time is super valuable. I really appreciate it. I'm definitely going to get this out to the people. I really can't say thank you enough. Thank you
Dude,
so much.
absolutely.
I really
Thanks for reaching out.
How awesome was that? super down-to-earth guy and knows his stuff. He's got his food card. He's got his travel card. He's got his catch-all. Pay your bills. Don't pay interest if you can help it. He's even done a bucket list trip that I would like to do. We've been to the same airports. He understands what it's like to break into the game and really be kind of rudderless, and he has created a solution for that, him and the team at PointHound, and I could not be more grateful. Once again, just want to give a huge shout out to Jay. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. I wish you guys unending success, and I hope everybody liked this as much as I did. Now, as always, my customary pointy thing, point, point, cross, cross, and that's about it. I'm cooking under these lights, so I'll catch you later.